Good afternoon, my dear students. Now we are going to the next part of the chapter Respiration in Organisms. That today we will learn about breathing. Okay, so first of all we will do one activity. Just all of you close your nostrils. Nostrils means nose and mouth tightly and look at the watch. What did you feel after some time? How long were you able to keep both of them closed? Note down the time for which you could hold your breath. How much time you can hold your breath? So it is very difficult to hold your breath for more time. So now you know that you cannot survive for long without breathing. So what is breathing? So as I already said to you, breathing is the first step in respiration. So breathing means taking in air rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide with the help of our respiratory organs. Okay, so what is called breathing? That is the answer for this. Breathing means taking in air rich in oxygen and giving out air rich in carbon dioxide with the help of respiratory organs. Okay. So taking in of air rich in oxygen into the body is known as inhalation. Okay. Just every day we are doing that one. Without any stop we are doing this one, inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation means taking in of air into our body which contain oxygen, rich in oxygen into the body is called inhalation. And giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide is known as the exhalation. Okay. So in this slide you can see what is inhalation and what is exhalation. Inhalation means the process of breathing air into the lungs through mouth or nose. Suppose sometime if you have any block in the nose due to cough and cold, we will take the air through the mouth. Okay, sometimes only. Usually we will take the air through the nose, which contain oxygen, rich in oxygen. The process of breathing air into the lungs through mouth or nose, that is known as the inhalation. And exhalation means opposite, the movement of air out of the lungs to the external environment, to outside during breathing, which contain rich amount of carbon dioxide, that is known as the exhalation. Is it clear? So in this slide you can see we are taking air which contain oxygen through our nostrils, and it will go to the lungs. Okay, and after some process it will go to different parts of the body and finally it will reach in the cells. Okay, that is known as the taking air, just taking air inside, that is known as the inhalation. Okay, so exhalation means giving out of air which contain carbon dioxide. Okay, that is known as the exhalation. Giving out of air which contain carbon dioxide. Okay, that is known as the exhalation. So it is a continuous process for our lifelong. Without break, it is continuing. Okay, in all the time throughout the life of an organism. If it is not happening, what will happen? We will die. Okay. So the number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as the breathing rate. The number of times a person breathes in a minute is termed as the breathing rate. During breathing, inhalation and exhalation take place alternately. First we will take the air inside and we will give out. After that we will give out the air. Okay, so inhalation and exhalation will take place alternatively. A breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. Okay, both is known as the a breath. Not only one taking inside, and also that the same time giving outside the air. So both inhalation and exhalation plus inhalation plus exhalation is known as the breathing rate. Is it clear? Generally, we are not aware that we are breathing while we are doing different types of works every day. We are not concentrating, is it we are breathing or not. When we are concentrating only, we are feeling that we are taking air inside and we are giving out air, right? So otherwise, we thought unconsciously we are doing this breathing process. So we are doing every time, right? However, if you try, you can count your rate of breathing, the breathe in and out normally. Find out how many times you breathe in and breathe out in a minute. So you can do one thing, just take your watch and just sit peacefully in one place and start count 1 minute. Okay, how much times you are breathing, one taking in of air and one giving out of air, one inhale and one exhale, that is one breath rate. Okay, so that one you can count in a minute. So now count your breathing rate after a brisk walk and after running. So when you are brisk walk means slowly walk, normal walk, that time the breathing rate will be normal. After running, what will happen? The breath rate will increase, right? So record your breathing rate as soon as you finish and also after complete rest. So you can see the change when you are in rest, the breathing rate will be different, and when after the exercise or after running, the breathing rate will be different. So whenever you are doing different activities, the breathing rate will differ. So you can realize that whenever a person needs extra energy, that person's breathe faster. Okay, as a result, more oxygen is supplied to our cells because the oxygen is coming through the air that we are breathing. So when we are doing some exercise or running, we need more oxygen. Okay, so that we breathe fastly. Okay, so that the oxygen will reach our cells and we will get more energy. It speeds up the breakdown of food and more energy is released. In the last class I said to you, respiration means what? The breaking down of glucose by oxygen and it will release energy. So when we need more energy, what will happen? We need more oxygen, right? So that then only that food will break and it will release energy. So if we are not getting enough oxygen, we will not get that much energy. So our body, when we are doing exercise, our body need more energy and we will breathe fastly so that we will get more oxygen and we will get more energy. Okay, so does this explain why do you feel hungry after a physical activity? You just think, when you feel drowsy, does your breathing rate slow down? Does your body receive sufficient oxygen? Sometimes if our body is not getting enough oxygen, we will feel tired. Okay, so sometimes if you are sitting in a room which is closed or congested room and all, maybe you will not get enough oxygen. Okay, so we will feel tired. So if we are going outside in the fresh air, if we are getting more oxygen, our body will be more active and it will produce more energy and automatically we will be active. Okay, so in this picture you can see the people are doing different activities like washing clothes, sleeping, walking, dancing, reading the books and climbing. So every activity we need some form of energy, right? So this all we are getting due to respiration. So in the case of if sleeping, that much energy no need, but for running, washing and dancing and all, we need more energy. That time we will breathe. Our body automatically will breathe fastly and we will get more oxygen and we will get energy. I hope this portion is clear to you. Now we will see how do we breathe. We all know that from our birth to death we are breathing continuously, right? We are taking air inside. That is first passage is known as the nasal passage, or commonly we will call that one as nose. Okay, that is passage is known as the nasal passage, and another name for this nasal passage is nostrils. Okay, so first one, when we inhale air passes through our nostrils, means nose, into the nasal cavity, a place inside the nose. The one space is that is known as the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, air will reach our lungs. Okay, you can see two side lungs are there, our lungs, through the windpipe. Okay, that is known as the windpipe. It contains pharynx and trachea. And this cavity, this lungs is present in a cavity that is known as the chest cavity. You can see when you take air inside, your chest will come up, right? That is known as the chest cavity. Just keep your hands on your chest and you breathe in. Inhale air. So you can feel that your chest will come up. That is known as the chest cavity. This cavity is surrounded by ribs on the sides. Ribs means what? The bones. You can see in this slide ribs, right? That are the bones in which seen in the chest. So ribs will come up. The cavity is surrounded by the ribs on the side. A large muscular sheet called diaphragm forms the floor of the chest cavity. You can see in this picture diaphragm. Okay, inside these ribs we can see the lungs. Why these ribs are there? Just think, to give protection to the lungs, heart. Okay, that is why the ribs is there, to give protection to our important organs. So the breathing involves the movement of diaphragm and the rib cage. So while breathing, this both ribs and diaphragm will move. That we will see in the next part. So just you have to learn the part of our respiratory system. It contains nasal passage, that is the nostrils. Then oral cavity means what? The mouth. Inside the mouth, the place is known as the oral cavity, and it contains windpipe. It contains pharynx, and below that pharynx you can see some ring-like structure that is known as the trachea. And trachea is divided into two, and it will go to the lungs, both side, left and right side lungs you can see. And the lungs, lungs are protected by ribs, and below to the lungs that you can see muscular structure that is known as the diaphragm. So when we are taking air inside, that is during the inhalation, the ribs move up. You can keep your hands and you can feel it. The ribs will move up and downwards. When we are taking air, the ribs move up and then will go downwards, and the diaphragm moves down. This movement increases the space in our chest cavity and air rushes into the lungs. The lungs get filled with air. Okay, so what will happen during the inhalation? When we are taking air inside, the ribs will come up and this diaphragm will go down. So what will happen? The maximum capacity, maximum space will be there inside the lungs. So maximum air can come inside. Okay, so at the time of exhalation, what will happen? Opposite will happen. The ribs move down and inwards, and while the diaphragm moves up its former position. Okay, so the air which is inside the lungs will go out. The ribs will come down and the diaphragm will go up. So the space inside the lungs will reduce. Okay, so this reduces the size of the chest cavity and the air is pushed out of the lungs. These movements in our body can be felt. When you are keep your hands, you can feel it. Now you take a deep breath and keep your palm on the abdomen. Abdomen means below the chest, that is abdomen. Feel the movement of abdomen. What you find, you can see the changes. Okay, so the air around us has various type of unwanted particles such as smoke, dust, pollens, etc. When we inhale, the particles get trapped in the air present in our nasal cavity. In the nose, we can see some small hairs. Okay, we can see some hairs in this nose. So when we are breathing, if any dust is there, that will like a sieve. The dust particles will be blocked inside our nose by the hair present inside the nose. Okay, so sometimes these particles may get past the hair in the nasal cavity. This may irritate the lining of this cavity. As a result, we sneeze. Okay, so sneezing is like a protection, like a defense mechanism of our body. Sneezing expels these foreign particles from the inhaled air and a dust free clean air entry into our body. So actually sneezing is good. If it is too much only, if we cannot control sneezing, we have to go and see the doctor. But actually little sneezing, that is good. Actually, if any dust is coming, our body is protecting itself from the dust by doing the sneezing. Okay, it is a reflex action. So take care. We have to take care. We should cover our mouth or our face with the handkerchief or something, so that this will not go to some other who is sitting nearby you.